bulletin. Big breaking news that we've been getting you developments on is the mystery behind Amma's death. Well, this time around, the Madras High Court has raised doubts over Jaya's death. A judge at the Madras High Court says that it is his personal opinion, but he has doubts over the death of Jayalalithaa due to the circumstances which led up to it. In fact, Justice Vaidyalingam raises serious questions over Jaya's death. He said that all the details over her death are not known. He asked why Jaya's health status was not made public, considering she was the Chief Minister.
I don't want to talk about against the court, but I'm telling Honorable Judge, 2 days or 3 days before, Honorable Central Minister Nadu gave a very clear statement, interview in a Tamil channel. Even the judge can watch it. He said very clearly there's no doubt in Honorable CM's death. Every day PM office is monitoring there. Every day we are getting report there. And doctors from all over the place, not only Apollo doctors, AIMS doctors belong to central government. Judge can ask them. And London Richard doctor is not ADMK person. He came from London. Singapore doctors came. I don't know why the people are creating such a suspicious. There's nothing wrong. Amma was all right. She came to the ward. Everything is 100 now. 200%. It's a true. Suddenly cardio arrest came.
Let's not mix up the two issues. Because she was in hospital for 75 days and she get the best of treatment. What went wrong? Maybe there was bulletins were not given, true picture was not given. These are all matters to be probed. I don't think there is any suspicion because nature had taken its toll. She had a host of illnesses, history of diabetes and all other. So I don't think you can in any way blame Sasikala for not sharing all the information. After all, when a woman is in hospital, there will be restrictions on visitors. So that is what has happened. But as far as the party is concerned, it is party's decision. Nobody can quarrel with that. The question is, right now, nobody is demanding that party has not demanded that she take over as chief minister of the party. So Paneerselvam is safe. But by election to Arkanagar constituency from Jayalalithaa got elected is due in another few months.
Whether it will be interesting to see who is going to contest that. Will VK Shashikala contest?
Whether she will be given a ticket, that is a crucial question. She has to become an MLA if she wants to become a chief minister. Of course, if she contests there, she will be in hands on because it's even otherwise ADMK pocket borough. Bastion.
I didn't visit the hospital. I was not in her funeral ceremony or any of the other places, so I really have no first-hand knowledge. But I would assume that if the judge has raised the doubts, he should issue directions now to both the state government, union government too, because the Intelligence Bureau, I'm sure, has a report on it, and also to the Apollo Hospital.
I think that will put to rest all these speculations. See, it is very sad that such a tall leader, her death is mired in mystery. I think that should not happen to such a tall leader of the state of Tamil Nadu. If the judge feels so, then, it is within his bounds, within his power to ask the appropriate authorities to put forward the reports, at least to satisfy the court. If at least the court says, yes, I am satisfied, I think it will put to rest all these speculations.
Apollo Hospital did put out very correctly and professionally information, and I have followed this in detail because almost blow by blow, and it is clear to me that Jayalalithaa was recovering very slowly and steadily after a very difficult period. Her life was certainly a life-threatening condition that brought her to hospital, and for many days she fought for her life, and they did a good job. But eventually the infection, she came with sepsis. There was a leak in the mitral valve. We know this. All this has been reported.
Look, this entire issue has come about because of this tremendous secrecy that was maintained over 74, 73, 74-day period. And that has led to a lot of doubts in the minds of the people. So, there have been doubts expressed even earlier. There have been petitions filed even earlier. So I think that, if the Madras High Court right now is in the stage of observations and they've ordered notices to be sent to the state government and ask for a response before 9th of January. But if the court does indeed find some merit in the petition, then they are, at full liberty to order a full inquiry.
Well, in fact, let's go across to Lokpriya, who's joining us with the very latest. Even at a time when Sasikala is on her way to be anointed as the General Secretary of the party, take over the reins from Jayalalithaa. Massive row now over the mystery surrounding Jayalalitha's health. But this time around, Lokpriya, it's very serious. It's not a rebel MLA, it's not some dissenters, but it is the High Court judge himself who's raised some serious questions.
Well, that's correct. The Madras High Court judge has raised several questions regarding the health status of Jayalalithaa and the sudden demise of Jayalalithaa, and has sent notices to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the central government, as well as the Apollo hospitals to respond to these notices. The very fact that the opposition parties have been raising a hue and cry over this issue and asking for a white paper on the demise of Jayalalithaa and on the health treatment. And now with the Madras High Court judge observation, it gives credence to their statement, it gives credence to their opinion that there was secrecy that shrouded the death of Jayalalithaa. It will be interesting to see what kind of responses the central government will file. The AIDMK has said that they do not know why the Madras High Court made such observation, but everybody who treated on Jayalalithaa has been in a transparent manner. Speaking to NewsX, C.R. Saraswati, the spokesperson of AIDMK, said that everything was done in a transparent manner and all the world-class physicians who treated Jayalalithaa gave periodic health updates, and also quoted Venkaiah Naidu from an interview which said that the central government was constantly in touch with the Apollo hospital during that 75-day period. So the AIDMK rejecting these charges and said that there is no secrecy that shrouds the death of Jayalalithaa.
Well, in fact, do stay on with us, Lokpriya. C. Rajashekaran, a lawyer, is also joining us. Well, sir, what do you make of the fact that this time around these charges are much more serious, considering it is the High Court judge himself who's raised these questions? Of course, it's easy to dismiss charges when they are coming from rebel leaders or dissenters, but you can't dismiss the charges which have been leveled by, or rather questions which have been leveled by the High Court judge itself. This time around, they will have to divulge more information.
Yes, the Honorable Judge of the Madras High Court has made an observation, and he has also ordered for a notice to the central government and the state government. And of course, it is an observation. It is not any particular order or he has passed. So we have to wait what the central government gives and a reply through their council, and the state government should file an affidavit, and also the hospital where the Honorable Chief Minister, the ex-Chief Minister, was treated. So all this, I cannot speculate on what the Honorable Judge is going to order on this particular PIL. It has been filed by a ADMK worker by name Joseph. So let us wait. I don't want to take any stance on that observation made by the Honorable Judge.
But Mr. Rajashekaran, notices have been sent to the Prime Minister as well, to the Home Minister as well, even to the Health Minister. So these notices will have to be answered. But more importantly, do you think it's upon the AIADMK party as well as the government of the state to divulge more details? Why is it that people are asking, why is it that their beloved Amma's death mystery is so very mysterious and murky? Why haven't details been divulged?
See, already one activist by name Traffic Ramasamy had filed a public interest litigation, and the hospital and the government had submitted a sealed envelope of details of what treatment Madam Jayalalithaa was given when everything developed later after her demise, and that was dismissed later on by the Honorable Chief Justice of Madras High Court. Now this judge, the single judge of the Madras High Court, has made an observation and sent notice to the central and state governments. And we have to wait for what the final outcome of this case, which is now it is too premature and early to comment on something which I am not entitled to do because it is in the
that's
court.
fair enough. We can't preempt a judgment. Mr. Rajashekaran, I was asking you why the AIADMK is being so secretive. Why not divulge the information themselves?
I'm extremely sorry because I'm not the spokesperson of the AIDMK.
But do you think they ought to? I'm not asking you if they will or not. I'm asking you, do you think they should?
Yes, when the Honorable Madras High Court
without a High Court order on this.
No, it is up to the AIDMK party whether they are going to reply through the government which the government is an AIDMK government, duly elected by the democratic process. And they are out to give the explanation to the Honorable Court, and they have already given to the public through the hospital bulletins. So we have to wait and watch what is going to happen next. But I don't want to speculate on something which is not in my domain.
Well, Mr. Rajashekaran, you have dodged that question, but we leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us. In fact, let's listen in to the petitioner as well. We are just discussing how this is a PIL which has been filed before the Honorable Madras High Court. Let's listen in to the petitioner, Joseph. Remember, he too is an AIADMK functionary.
Vijay Anand. Mr. Anand, we have filed a PIL at Madras High Court. What the PIL is all about?
PIL is about appointment of a commission under invoking the Commissions of Inquiry Act. And we sought direction to the central government to appoint three Supreme Court judges bench commission for inquiring into the mysterious death of Jayalalithaa.
And today the hearing was due. So what was there in the court proceeding? Was there any observation made by the Honorable Judge?
Yes, he said he has a personal doubt about the death, and he expressed his views, saying that we need a probe on this issue, and he posted the matter before the first bench, that is the bench comprising of Chief Justice, on 9th.
Why do you think that there was something fishy in the entire period while former Chief Minister was admitted in the hospital? Or what is the basic reason that you have filed this PIL?
See, the petitioner felt that right from the admission into the hospital and what all the happenings happened after that, and as far as the reports of the Apollo, and there are contradictions, and there was a impression, thumb impression by the said to.
Well, in fact, let me go back across to Lokpriya, who has been getting us the very latest on this. Well, Lokpriya, AIADMK has said that why is it that they're still being asked questions? After all, at the end of it, some of the doctors who were treating Jayalalithaa were doctors of AIIMS, which is run by the central government, and that is a valid enough point. Well, we'll try and get you more inputs on that. Remember, the big story that we are getting for you is that there is a Madras High Court judge who's raised questions over why Jayalalitha's death has been shrouded in so much mystery. In fact, a notice has been sent to the Prime Minister, the Home Minister, as well as the Health Minister, as well of the Union. Well, with that, we are